What's up, everybody? All right, you guys, so we have an extremely sad update in the case of Dakara Thompson. So a press conference was just held and we learned that the body that was discovered was indeed Dakara's. So investigators say that the day that Dakara went missing, they have surveillance showing her getting into a black vehicle. And the individual that she got into the vehicle with was 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez. So from what they're saying, him and Dakara drove to his home in Bowie. And investigators believe that inside of his bedroom, he took Dakara's life.
100 strong, because over here, we like to keep things 100 strong. What's that word, family? Hey, man, check this out.
Brush, apply the brush, brush, apply the brush, apply the brush, yeah, brush, apply the brush.
Today, police confirmed 19-year-old Dakara Thompson's body has been found, and they say her killer has been arrested.
Surveillance footage shows her parking her car on Jasmine Terrace, getting out and walking towards Riggs Road. Friday, new court documents revealing that she apparently continued walking toward University Boulevard and is then seen on surveillance cameras talking to the driver of a black GMC Yukon XL Denali, getting in on the passenger side and leaving. Police say cell phone records show she remained in that car until they arrived to Cambridge Road in Bowie. It's there where police believe she was killed by a man named Hugo Hernandez Mendez in the early morning hours of August 23rd. Investigators believe he then took her body the same morning to Route 50 between Route 424 and Route 97 and threw her over the bridge above South River. It was more than a week later, around 5 p.m. on August 31st, that police would find her body. They had responded to the bridge for a disabled vehicle and happened to see her about 30 feet below the bridge on the river embankment. The news devastating for her family, her mother telling WUSA 9 Friday night that they are still trying to process everything. For nearly 2 weeks, they searched desperately, held vigils, and pleaded for her safe return.
Hernandez Mendez, 35, has been charged with first and second-degree murder. On August 23rd, Thompson's family reported her missing. She was last seen getting out of her 2013 white Ford Edge at a Shell gas station in Maryland. At the time, she was wearing a dark-colored jacket and denim jeans. Her personal belongings were later found inside the car, which was abandoned in Hyattsville, Maryland. Just 8 days later, Maryland State Police opened a death investigation after a woman's body was located off of Route 50 in Maryland. Police initially said the woman may be connected to an ongoing missing persons report in Prince George's County, but police has since then identified the woman as Thompson. Investigators were able to obtain surveillance footage, and it shows Thompson approaching a black SUV in the morning hours of August 23rd. After speaking to the driver, she got into the car. The driver then drove to a home in the 12,000 block of Cambridge Drive in Bowie. Evidence suggested that Thompson was murdered in the bedroom in the home. Detectives arrested and charged Hernandez Mendez with murder, as he has access to the car and lives in the bedroom where the murder happened. According to ABC 7, Hernandez Mendez is in the United States illegally. A U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detainer was issued on Thursday. Her cause of death has not yet been determined. Wow. Folks, what do you guys think about that right there? Another black person, another black woman, because I did the story before on the other black woman who was killed by a group of illegal immigrants, right? Illegal migrants or whatever, right? I did that story. And now we got this story. And you know, the thing is, when y'all say that ICE ain't stopping crime, what do you call this? ICE could have stopped this. If the people allow them to do their job, they could have stopped this crime. They could have stopped the other black woman's crime that I told you guys about. They could have stopped that shit. All this does is shows that white America, they don't care about us, bro. You know, when they show up when a police officer kill an unarmed black man or kill a black man. They help us destroy the community. They provide us with bricks and rocks to throw at the police, masks, all type of shit, man. White people are devilish, scheming. Provide us with all this shit. Then they go home to their grocery stores while we don't have no grocery stores because they say, break into this grocery store. You know what I'm saying? And black people just so silly following them around and shit. But, they come under the guise like they want to help us, but they don't, because it's 364 other days of the year that we could be talking about, like marching for job training and placement for black people. But no, we rather march on the silly shit. So now they got their new favorite pet, which is the illegal migrant. No matter where they come from, if you're illegally in the country, you got a white bleeding heart looking out for you. All right, so I got an example right here. All right, so let's just say this random white guy. I'm gonna call him Mark, right? So let's just say Mark Boston, right? I break into Mark Boston's house, right? I break into his house. Police catch me. You think Mark Boston is gonna pull up and say, oh, he was just looking for resources. He's a very hard worker. Look at how we got into that second floor window. Wow, that takes some ingenuity. Do y'all think white ass Mark Boston is going to allow me to come into his house because I'm hungry and I need to feed my family, so I'm going to take his resources? Do y'all think old ass Mark Boston is going to go for that? Hell no, man. Mark Boston going to say, lock that nigga up, throw away the key. He took from me and mine. You know what I'm saying? That's what Mark Boston going to say. And that's what America should be saying right now. These people are breaking into the country, stealing the resources. That's why ICE is so important. And the first people that feel the crime are black people, because they throw them in our neighborhoods, in our communities. They're not throwing them in their communities. They're throwing them in our communities. You know what I'm saying? So we get all the violent treatment from these people. All the violent treatment from these people. Once they get their numbers up, of course. Once their kids go to school with our kids, of course. But this 19-year-old woman, this shit raises a lot of questions. Baby girl, what were you doing going outside the house at 3 a.m.? I think she was a little hooker. She had a very good support system, though. She was raised in the church. Her family, look at all them people that came out for her. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I think she was committing a crime, too. Who the fuck goes to the gas station at 3 a.m.? But you needed some swishers? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, this shit is odd. She probably was on what they call that shit, Craigslist or something, whatever app they got out right now for prostitutes. And she met this Mexican guy, and he said, yeah, I'm gonna pay you. And he ended up killing her. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense for a 19-year-old chick to be with a 35-year-old person of another race. It just don't add up. So I believe she was doing some dirt. She may have tried to steal from the trick, or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe she was just an honest hoe, like they said in Harlem Nights. Maybe she was an honest hoe. But I think she was horned. Go outside at 3 a.m. This is what happens to women. They getting too empowered by this. The white people, like I said in the first time with Mr. Mark Boston, the white people, you know what I'm saying? And they ideology when it comes down to racism that they don't even know they have in them. They don't know about this racism. They think they doing the right thing sometimes. But it's like, shit, no, it's racism, bro. It's racism, shit. It's the liberal kind. But not to say that Mark is racist, but his concept, his thoughts, his thought patterns come from people that talk racism. Even though you don't pick it up, they still was instilled into you. All right, so like I say, this chick was outside doing some dirt. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. She ain't deserve to die, none of that shit. But she was outside doing some dirt. And if it was going to get some swishers or whatever, but she hopped into a car with a motherfucker. You know, she can do what she want to do because she's 19, grown, and living with her parents. You know what I'm saying? So she can do what the fuck she want to do. And, you know, this guy wouldn't be here if y'all let ICE do their job. Ain't nobody telling the mayor how to do their jobs, but the people that, you know, he has to answer to. So you shouldn't have to tell ICE how to do their jobs and who they can arrest and what immigrants they can arrest, you know what I'm saying, and which ones they can't. But this guy, if he wasn't in the country, maybe that girl still will be alive. That's all I'm saying. But tell me how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. 19-year-old female, man. That shit crazy. I'll be back later. Peace.
Brush, I apply the brush, brush. I apply the brush, brush. I apply the brush, yeah, brush. I apply the brush.